Hi everybody, this is the Patriot Hunt, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion, your host, and welcome back to the Patriot Hunt. Hopefully you like this video and hit that subscribe button. So there was this craziness that what happened in the last couple of days concerning this spending bill, this 1,500-page boondoggle that the Congress was trying to push through, and it failed. Thankfully it failed. There was a lot of pressure from Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy and of course President Trump, and it makes this the biggest losers, the ones that wrote this bill, and nobody knows who wrote the bill, by the way. And Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, he's a disaster. He has to go. His nonsense with this was just, his rationale makes no sense. But here we go. I got a couple of things to read to you, and here we go. It's all from the Gateway Pundit. Headline: Speaker Mike Johnson caves to swamp politics again. Agrees with Musk's criticism, but weak Johnson pushes massive spending bill anyway. Asshole. House Speaker Mike Johnson defended his proposed stopgap funding measure, which will extend current government funding levels through mid-March. The Senate had going through mid-March. They had a 10-year spending spree. And the spending spree had stuff in the bill that included doing memes on the internet of politicians, curbing censorship through tech, and giving a congressman a raise, and other stuff too, just craziness. The bill has widely been criticized by Republican hardliners and conservative leaders as a betrayal of the GOP's promises to rein in reckless spending and hold Democrats accountable. Raised within Republican majority in the House, Johnson has repeatedly relied on temporary funding measures. The state of government shutdown is supposed to be one on Friday. A tactic many see as a capitulation to Democrat priorities. His current CR now not only fails to address conservative concerns, but also reportedly includes major policy changes, such as a congressional pay raise, a carve-out for lawmakers to opt out of Obamacare. It's outrageous. And funding for controversial State Department censorship programs. Also, you can't investigate what Congress people are doing. Like, for instance, what happened with the J6 committee, where they supposedly destroyed documents that helped their case. Washington bureau chief for Breitbart Matthew Boyle wrote, "It's not a stopgap spending bill. Stop calling it that. It's a massive change to federal policy, includes first pay raise for Congress in 15 years, allows Congress to opt out of Obamacare and join federal workers' health plans. This was a major point of contention during Obama debate, funds highly controversial censorship efforts at the State Department. These three things alone are major policy issues that in a just world won't be rammed through in a lame duck session, as the outgoing Congress was mostly just roasted at the ballot box. This is not just a continuing resolution at current levels or something," he added. Representative Nancy Mace also blasted the bill, stating, "We need to start calling these stopgap spending bills continuing delusions. How can D.C. ever plan to balance the budget when it just keeps spending? It's a total dumpster fire. I think it's garbage." GOP Representative Eric Burlison of Missouri, who was a member of the Conservative Freedom Caucus, he wrote and said this: "Sadly, this is happening again. I think that's shameful. The people that celebrate Doge, Department of Government efficiency coming in, and yet we're going to vote for another $1 billion to be added to the deficit. It's ironic." Add the lawmaker, who probably meant to say $1 trillion, given the legislation would fund the entire government until March 14th. Tesla founder and Trump confidant Elon Musk did not mince words in a fiery critique of Johnson's spending bill. "This bill should not pass," Musk declared in a post on X. Now, during an interview on Fox, Johnson said this: "Well, I was communicating with Elon last night. Elon and Vivek and I are on a text chain together, and I was explaining to them the background of this. Vivek and I talked late last night, almost at midnight, and he said, 'Look, I get it. You understand you're in an impossible position. Everybody knows that.' Quote, remember, guys, we still have a razor-thin margin of Republicans. So any bill has to have Democrat votes. We understand the situation. They understand it's not directed to you, Mr. Speaker, but we don't like the spending. I said, guess what, fellas? I don't either. We got to get this done because here's the key. Now, this is outrageous. He said this. By doing this, we're clearing the decks and we're setting up for Trump to come in, roaring back with the American First agenda. You can't just do a regular bill. You got to do all this crap in it with the 34 days before he goes in. A bunch of crap. This is why he's in a lot of trouble. Now, a few hours later, Representative Rand Paul, Congressman Rand Paul, called Speaker Mike Johnson a weak man after the spending deal is revealed. Sad day for America. The budget deal agreed upon by congressional leaders is being attacked by conservatives. There's too much waste being approved in too little time. Now, I would mention the rumors that Ron Paul, his father, who pushed for a balanced budget for a long time, talked about the sort of out-of-control spending, is going to be part of the Doge. On Tuesday, a deal was cut to pass what's known as a continuing resolution to keep the government funded through March 14th. In theory, Congress is supposed to pass the federal budget by October 1st, but in practice, it used a series of stopgap bills to operate the government while Congress hashes out a final budget. The current stopgap bill expires Friday. And that was due before Christmas or before a holiday. Oh, we got to get it done. You're not going to have Christmas. Get the hell out of here. In theory, Congress is supposed to pass a federal budget by October 1st. But in practice, it uses a series of stopgap bills to operate the government while Congress, we read that, Representative Republican Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky was among those saying the government is a disaster with fiscal restraint. Quote, I'd hope to see Speaker Johnson grow up spine, but this bill full of pork shows he is a weak man. He is. That will continue to grow. Ultimately, the dollar will fail. Democrats are clueless and big government Republicans are complicit. Sad day for America. Republican Senator Mike Lee of Utah noted that many who support President Donald Trump's Doge failed to translate that opposed support into action when they should have done so. Many of the loudest self-proclaimed Doge heroes in Congress will vote for the CR even though it flies in the face of everything Doge is trying to fix and perpetuates the very problems Republicans railed against while campaigning this year. Then they'll say Doge will fix it. Now I know that during the day, anyone that was going to vote for this thing, Elon Musk was saying, you're going to get voted out. We're going to take names and I'm going to make sure, because he's got a big PAC, he's going to make sure that they get them out of office because we can't have these people spending money. I mean, he said that. I mean, that's the problem. It's not government. It's the people running the government. Now here's just a little while ago, and this is great news. No vote on Speaker Johnson's spending bill after President Trump and Elon Musk reject resolution. There will be no vote on Speaker Johnson's spending bill after President Trump and Elon Musk raised concerns about the resolution on Wednesday. Johnson's latest CR to avert a government shutdown this Friday not only fails to address conservative concerns, but also reportedly includes major policy changes, such as a congressional pay raise, which is crap, a carve-out for lawmakers to opt out of Obamacare, and funding for controversial State Department censorship programs. I watched Jesse Waters, like I said. They were talking also about making it illegal to do memes of a politician. Crazy. Complete total waste. Speaker Johnson's CR contained a section essentially mandating a court to quash or modify any legal process directed to the provider for a House office if compliance would require the disclosure of House data of the House office. Now, I would mention, they could not, this bill was going to make it very difficult to uncover crimes taking place in the Congress. So that is one problem. That's why this bill got squashed too. You know, the people that are going in there, they don't want any corruption. President Trump joined Elon Musk and rejected Johnson's spending bill. The most foolish and inept thing ever done by congressional Republicans was allowing our country to hit the debt ceiling in 2025. It was a mistake and is now something that must be addressed. Meanwhile, Congress is considering a spending bill that would give sweetheart provisions, government censorship, and for Liz Cheney, the bill would make it easier to hide the records of the corrupt January 6th committee, which accomplished nothing for the American people and hid security failures that happened that day. This bill would also give Congress a pay increase while many Americans are struggling this Christmas. And this from J.D. Vance. This is a statement from J.D. Vance from President Trump. Increasing the debt ceiling is not great, but we'd rather do it on Biden's watch. If Democrats won't cooperate on the debt ceiling now, what makes anyone think they would do it in June during our administration? Let's have this debate now. We should pass a streamlined spending bill that doesn't give Chuck Schumer and the Democrats everything they want. Republicans want to support our farmers, pay for disaster relief, and set our country up for success in 2025. The only way to do that is with a temporary funding bill without Democrat giveaways, combined with an increase in the debt ceiling. Anything else is a betrayal of the country. Right on. Republicans must get smart and tough. If Democrats threaten to shut down the government unless we give them everything they want, they call their bluff. It is Schumer and Biden who are holding up aid to our farmers and disaster relief. And they keep sending money to Ukraine. And they haven't helped these people that were hit by that made up hurricane. Not the made up hurricane, but the souped up hurricane. This chaos would not be happening if we had a real president. We would go in 32 days. Right on, right on, right on. Well, hope that this does not go through. Hopefully they'll come up with something for 2 weeks. I mean, for a month and a half or 2 months. That's what we're asking. We don't need this crazy 10-year spending bill. Well, thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you like it and hit the subscribe button. I'll see you later.